Hello, my name is David Feder, and I'm going to talk about Leonardo da Vinci. He was born in Florence in Acciano, Tuscany. It was the time of the Renaissance, and Leonardo, throughout his life, grew to become a master of art and engineering. Growing up, he was surrounded with citizens who lived in fear of their surroundings because of the wars and assassins. So at that time, he wanted to escape this reality and gain higher status in society. He knew that one way to access power and riches was to become recognized first. The book mentions that in the beginning of his career, he practiced painting because he would always observe nature and focus on the details of what met his eyes. Because he was so good at painting, he thought it was something that would open doors and opportunities for his success. Leonardo da Vinci is well known as the artist who painted the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper, but it's not all he created. In fact, he had this passion for inventing and engineering. The book mentions that he would always research and gain knowledge, which kept him growing to see things in new perspective and new ways. He learned about humans, nature, science, and machinery. In his case, he loved military engineering, and he kept this mindset on every project that he would work on, staying persistent and never giving up what he had devoted himself to. This led him to create ways to improve the catapult, tanks, crossbows, and as well as other military machines of that time. The book also mentions that later on in Leonardo's life, he observed the environments and developed this obsessive interest in birds in flight. This made him invent different types of flying machine, but most of them failed unfortunately. Though he stayed committed in finding ways for humans to fly and came up with concepts for the helicopter and how it would operate. Thanks to this, the notes and the drawings he had, the helicopter was built later on in the 1940s. I relate to this master because he worked in different areas and different fields, but always would apply what he had learned in previous experiences in his new projects. In my case, I studied computer animation, and even though it's not my full passion at the moment, while I was working on it, I gave my 100% and learned many things that make me who I am today, personally and professionally. I learned from Leonardo that I should give my all into everything I do because once I become a master of my art, I will be able to change and tweak the rules and find new ways of doing things. Even if it turns bad or good, it's experience, and this is what makes people grow. In the book, it says, and I quote, "The ability to think inside other people is no different from the intuitive feel masters gain in relation to their field of study." This is Robert Greene. And I believe that this means that when you think inside people and you can read people, you can gain their trust easier. And it's a way of persuasion. And through other Robert Greene book, he mentions that this is a way of art of seduction. It's very interesting because Leonardo had this great connection with leaders and they respected him a lot. And if I had the opportunity to ask him two questions, I would ask him if he used the art of seduction and charisma to interest these kings, like Francois and Duke Caesar Borgia. The book also mentions how Francois would fill him with money and privileges. So Leonardo was not only good at his art, but he was a people person. My second question would be if his social intelligence came natural to him throughout his experiences and his life growing up, or did he learn it slowly while studying the human psyche? Two of the seven deadly realities that I personally need to be careful and aware of are laziness and passive aggression. I chose laziness because it is something that I have experienced in the past in my professional life. I have also made the error of collaborating with someone and ended up doing most of the work even though we split the share 50-50. Like the book discusses, I need to keep my good ideas to myself for precaution of someone not to steal my work. Also, I need to be careful of the passive aggression actions that I make and others make towards me. I believe that I need to confront my problems directly and not in a hypocritical way. Also, I know that there will always be someone that feels jealousy or envy towards me or my work, and I need to be cautious of their actions by reading them. And this goes back to the social intelligence. Thank you, and these are my references.